Dale. Dale, don, dale. Okay, we have a very special guest today. Stefa, welcome to Now Departing Ordinary. To get started, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background?
Okay, so my name is Stefanie Fuentes, and I am born and raised in Puerto Rico, Northwest Coast. And I love to surf. I love to do yoga, designing, and my career basically was biology and plant science, mostly plant pathology and mycology. And I think that's resume of myself.
Amazing. Okay, so let's talk about how you went from your career in the sciences to what you're doing now.
So I love science, I love plants, but I've also, since I was very young, I love fashion design, like fashion overall. And when I was working finally with my career as a specialist in plant pathology, I didn't found myself in a place where I was like, oh, this is what I want to do for like 30 years, 20 years. Like, I was not living in the countryside, which is my favorite part. Like, I was living in the city and I hate the city, so that was one big thing that will be like, pushing there. And then I realized that the job overall, the environment I was surrounded by, it was not healthy at all for myself, physical or emotionally. So I started like brainstorming what can I do to like take advantage of this, but not like quit in a random way. So I realized I remember the fashion design thing, and I went to study it while I was working, so I have the money to pay for it, because like I didn't ever study that because I didn't have the money to cover that. So I finally had it, and I decided to do it. So while I was working with the federal government, I started studying fashion design for 2 years. I finished, then I built my house. And a year after is when I quit. When the house was done, I already had the brand running, and I decided to do what I love the most and like have like freedom to like enjoy doing what I love, spending time with loved ones, and not being like just working all the time, having money but not having that freedom, So it was a hard decision for sure, and it's still hard to like manage to be an entrepreneur or like having your own business, but I don't regret a single one of it.
Yeah. What was it like going from having a lot of structure and kind of an expected life, you knew what was sort of coming and not maybe a lot of surprises, to going down a path where there's no structure, everything is up to you, anything can happen?
Yes, that's one of the biggest challenges. For me, I've always worked for someone else where I have a schedule and I just go and work like from this time to this time, and that's it. And like as you said, like now it's everything on me, and like being organized has been one of the biggest challenge, like in having your own business, because like you have to know like where you put more energy, where you put more time, when it's a non-stop, non-ending like journey of like trying to get things done in a way that it's sustainable to keep you like working and having your own stuff and your own business, and to not be like quit or something like that. But it's very challenging. Organization is like the most challenging parts.
Yeah. What made you decide to study fashion and to continue to pursue it after studying?
I think I loved it, since I said like since I was very young. I still have like books of like pictures from like revistas and everything, like when I was very young, and I was like, I'm gonna do that. I always when I was doing my master degree, I remember once I told my my teacher, my consultant teacher, whatever, I don't remember how to say it right now. But I told her like, when I finish studying like my plant science stuff, I'm gonna do like fashion design. And at that moment, I didn't know how, with what money.
Yeah.
I was gonna finish my studies, and I was in the middle of nowhere, like without money or anything.
Yeah.
And then I got my job, the good job, and I was like, okay, then the universe put this job there to me to like be able to study this and like, you know, find my own path, like without being in a freaking schedule for someone else.
Yeah.
You know, for someone else's goals or vision. So that's basically why I did it. And yeah, I'm happy I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
How has your work with fashion changed from when you first started to today?
Wow, yeah. It had changed a lot, but it's weird because it has changed, but like the core has been the same. Like when I decided to study fashion design, I was like, okay, but I know all of this about like fast fashion and like the damage we're causing to the environment with all the like non-stop like buying and plastic clothes and all of this. So I was like, I know this is gonna be even harder than like just let's start fashion design and let's do something, you know, like anybody else. You can source like so easily for many other stuff, but I decided to do it sustainably. So that adds on top of it like a lot, because like in Puerto Rico we don't have like any sourcing of natural fabrics, organic fabrics, so everything has to like be from outside, imported. And yeah, I don't know, I managed to find someone in India and to get my fabrics and stuff. And right now, like, it's challenging because I don't have someone to work for me that I can like delegate stuff, or like example sewing, like making more quantities and all of that. But I think right now I'm in the middle of a big change in my brand, because like I'm gonna have to find someone to help me out so I can grow bigger, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like just that's basically the change, like trying to.
How did you get to the point where you realized that you needed help to create your vision?
Well, designing, making patterns, sampling, buying the supplies, sewing, marketing, going to markets and to sell, online store, like it's too much for just one person.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how I'm still here, like surviving.
Yeah, it's quad.
So yeah, I'm just like working on other projects to like get some more money and to put in there, and so I can have someone helping me out.
Yeah. It is. I feel like people glamorize being an entrepreneur. Like, oh, you're doing your own thing. That's so cool. But it's like,
It is super cool, but it's super challenging.
yeah, the work that goes behind it, because you are essentially like an entire company, just yourself.
Yeah.
Besides organization and time management, what have been some of the things that maybe were most surprising to you when starting to work for yourself?
That's a good question. Surprising? I don't know. I guess like the part of like managing the time and organizing, you know, getting organized so I can like have everything done when it needs to get done. I think that has been the more surprising thing, because I've always been super responsible, like super, extremely.
Yeah.
And now I feel I am, but it's even harder because I have to like do like all of that scheduling of things I have to get done. So yeah, that's been the most.
Let's talk about how, on top of this, you are also teaching yoga.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Which I totally understand,
Oh yeah, definitely. One thing's balance the other.
Exactly.
Because if not, I will be crazy already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so, well, my journey to yoga started like 10 years ago. I was still doing my master's degree in science, plant science, and I was just doing like yoga as a new hobby, but not like too deeply. It was only when I was already working my serious job as a scientist that I found myself like very like having panic attacks and super stressed out, anxiety, like all over the place. And it was due to the environment I was living in, that work, in that job. And I decided to take a retreat to Costa Rica alone. And in that retreat, of course, I did yoga, surf, and journaling and all of this. But I found out that they were, one of the teachers I met there, she was doing a yoga teacher training the same year in September. And I was like, okay, I don't know how I'm going to do it to come back and spend like a month there while having this job. But I was like, I don't care, I'm going to do it. So I did my 200 hour, thinking that I wanted to teach, not like a full-time job, but like I wanted to keep like continue spreading that that knowledge or that practice with everyone, because it was helping me a lot. So, but I never did until now, because I was still working there. I didn't have time. I was still studying fashion design by then, and then the things of the house. So after, I think it was a year I quit, I did my 300 hours last year in India. And that's when I said, you know what? You need to stop postponing it. You need to start like breaking the fear of like teaching and being in front of people, like sharing something so special, So I decided like, I pushed myself there, and I feel super comfortable now, way better than when I started a year ago teaching. So yeah, and that's one of my favorite practices too, my hobby. I love, being connected with myself and my body. It helps a lot.
What style of yoga do you practice, and what style of yoga do you teach? Are they the same?
No. That's a great question. So I started doing it when I started yoga for the first time. I started doing Ashtanga, and then when in Costa Rica I found out I was practicing Tantra Vinyasa, and I love that practice, and I continued that practice since now. Until now, but I teach Vinyasa, Hatha Vinyasa, because like I don't like to say Tantra, because Tantra is a very deep practice and very difficult to like explain, and it's very complicated too, So I rather do like something that Hatha is where from all the yoga styles, appear, but I decided to do it that way because I noticed that a lot of students that come to my class, they are not like intermediate, advanced students, so I cannot teach what I do.
Yeah.
Specifically because like if not, everyone's gonna go running from my class, or they're not gonna come back.
Yeah.
And I don't want anyone to be scared of yoga, or that, oh no, I cannot do this. I want to inspire them to, show them that they can do it and they can get there.
Yeah.
With time and like honoring the process of each, of your body. So that's why I decided to teach Hatha Vinyasa, to have something more slow but at the same time more dynamic. So it's not about to just being, because I'm not slow. I'm not a slow person, as you can tell. And then so if I were to teach something restorative or like yin yoga. It's not that I cannot do it, but like I will leave that to someone that is more relaxed than me, because I like more like challenge and like I'm more fire. So yeah.
Yeah. And how have you like adapted or integrated more of your practice into your teachings, or do you keep them pretty separate?
No, I integrate, yeah.
Okay.
Little by little I go like putting that seed there, here and there. Yeah.
And I think recently you've been doing some like mini retreats, no?
Workshops.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of like not. I did a workshop of Surya Oscar Classic, and I've been doing like I would say like we can call it a mini retreat, I guess. It's like a couple hours in the morning where you just go and have some nice food, like fresh fruit, food, do some yoga and do some sustainable shopping, local shopping. So yeah.
Yeah, and it is kind of like, you know, it's not like a full week or anything, but it is almost like a mini, like, you really drop in and you are there for a while.
Yeah, to treat yourself.
Yeah. How did you start deciding to do more like workshops and things outside of teaching the physical practice?
I personally love to attend to those things. Like, I love it. It's like a retreat for yourself, and like treating yourself, your body, and disconnect yourself from that routine. So I was like, I want to do it because I want to share it with people like that have not had the experience of that has, and just keep want to do that, because like we don't have that often like around. So, and like I decided to gather it with my clothing and with other like conscious brands and like business, so people have the opportunity to get to know them and like grab something, like shop local consciously, not something just without any meaning, you know?
Yeah.
So
how have you found the congruence between teaching yoga and your fashion? Do you feel like people are understanding the connection between the two?
I think so, but like when I speak to people about these things, or they know about it, they're like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like it matched perfectly, and I'm like, well, yeah. I mean, how I'm gonna like predicate, it's a word? Like predicate something and do something opposite. For example, if I'm doing yoga, how I'm gonna like promote like fast fashion or things like that are not connected with mother nature, or you know, not thinking about the environment that we live in. It's like we are our nature.
Wow. Do you think that there's a appetite for shopping more sustainably? How do you find, like, in the community here, your fashion and kind of brand at large has been received?
I think, yeah, there's a niche there that is growing little by little, and I'm very happy. Not for me, I mean, yes, but mostly for like what we can do for the world, for the environment, like the good we're gonna be doing if we like start like taking those choices more consciously. And yeah, I think the more like we integrate other people, the community, in things like that, just educating, not only by like, oh, I'm standing here, shop my stuff, no, like educating them in what it is, why it is like that, and the benefits that it has, not only in us, but you know, overall.
Yeah. Do you feel like there has been some people who like don't understand it?
Yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, there's always people that won't understand it, because like we have been so used to and educated that whatever clothes, it's clothes. We are being disconnected from what we were, what we like, who we are, why we do the things we do, you know, and all of that. So for a lot of people, it's, you know, they don't have that accessible. So what they watch, what they do, it's just in the same circle, not outside the bubble that we have been,
Yeah.
thrown to. So yeah, there's a lot of people that still don't get it, but I hope that little by little we can help people
Yeah.
to be more conscious about that.
Yeah. In terms of sustainability in your personal life, what are some other things that you really enjoy integrating? There's one thing in particular that I'm thinking about.
I think we're thinking this.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Your gardening.
I know.
Yes, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, since I was a child, I used to garden. My parents, my dad, and they've always been having us like in nature, like doing things in nature. Like I was a wild child, like climbing trees, like gardening, growing food. So for me, that's heritage. Like, that's part of my life. And then, I mean, my background is in plant pathology, which is like the identifying diseases in plants. So I quit my job, but I didn't quit my love for plants and for like being interested in what's going on with it. If it doesn't work, why it's not working, what are the plants or whatever. And I've always, since I was a child, dream of having my own garden with lots of flowers, lots of veggies, and I little by little I think I've been doing good.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things here, so I just want to keep doing that. Yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of things that I don't buy in the supermarket anymore because I have it there.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's like fresh.
It's like alimentary sovereignty, like soberanía alimentaria. How we can go against the norms or governments to like having us control. That's how we, like leave that out, and we can have control ourselves, our own life, and what we eat, and how we live.
Yeah, it is. It's taking back autonomy, essentially.
Because if not, you have to buy whatever is in the supermarket, good or bad, expensive or not. That's what you want to eat, and of course we all know that most of it is shit, and it's poison and all that. So,
but I mean, even the very sad thing that I've noticed living in Puerto Rico is that everything is imported.
Definitely.
And so even if it is healthy, it's been en route for so long that by the time that it gets here, it's like not.
It'll lose
fresh.
its nutrients. Yeah.
Yeah, which is like one of the most kind of just like heartbreaking things, and that people don't really talk about. Like, Puerto Rico is part of the United States, but there's a lot of things that Puerto Rico doesn't get to benefit from as being part of the United States.
Oh, yeah, and let's not even go there.
Like, how many hours do you have?
Yeah, no, that's, yeah. But yeah, I feel that, gardening for me is a way of like, not only like for me it's a meditation, first of all, and it makes me really happy to like being surrounded by nature and having my plants and taking care of them, but also like, I don't depend on you, like, I don't depend on the system, let's say it that way, because I know how to grow my food, I know where to get the good stuff, how to heal my body in ways that you won't give me, and you won't teach me.
Exactly. Yeah, that's so true. It's just not a skill or knowledge base that is valued largely in society. There's pockets of people. I think there is like a resurgence, kind of since COVID, really, especially.
Yeah.
People learning how to grow food again because with the fear of, everything going offline and not having the ability to survive.
Yeah, definitely. And here I feel like after Maria, it was then COVID was like, okay, well, like after Maria, I mean, we all say like we were something before Maria, and now after Maria we're something different.
Wow, what do you think is the biggest? I mean, I think there are many, but what is like the biggest difference after Maria?
I think that, like the fact that you can have anything, because we didn't have power, we didn't have water, we didn't have service, like, and we survived. How we survived, because we went down to our roots and what we, I think everyone, if they go to their roots and like to the basics, the human basics, how we were living before all of this what's going on, then you'll be fine. Like, you'll be able to survive. So I think that agriculture after that, and people need more conscious of like solar energy and all of this needs. What's it not? I mean, we're in an island. Where are we gonna go?
Yeah.
To escape? Nowhere.
Nowhere. Take a very long.
You better know how to grow some food and how to like filter water or things like that, which are the basics, and you'll be okay.
Yeah. It is. That is kind of wild. Just how you essentially were forced to come to terms with like the fragility of the human experience and like the most like shocking way possible.
It was very shocking. But yeah, I learned a lot too.
With your love for plants, have you ever considered integrating that into what you teach with yoga or into your fashion? Or do you already?
But like, in which way?
I don't know, like for example, like plant medicine of any kind, or like plant dyeing, or plant fabrics, or
Yeah, I've done plant dyeing before. It's amazing, but it's another thing that adds on top of all the responsibility I already have. But it's something I want to do, like for small collections, because like doing something big with that, it's very difficult. But yeah, I even got trained in some plant dyeing when I started the brand. But yeah, I mean, time-wise, I have not been able to do it more. And with the yoga thing and like, I guess herbalistic. Yeah, I really want to like learn more about that, and maybe just have it for me, and then if I feel it's good enough to like spread it, like maybe even do something about that, because I have a lot of medicinal plants in my garden too.
Because a lot of people do like cacao ceremonies are so popular now, which are amazing, but there's so many other plants and herbs and like healing potential with things that come from the earth.
I would like to get more deep into that when I have more time.
When you hire someone.
Exactly. That makes sense though.
So outside of what you are doing with your, businesses, and your brand being the multitude of things that are under that, what do you do for yourself, just for your own personal enjoyment and like to give yourself motivation and inspiration for your life?
Well, I love to serve, as I said. Like, that's one of the things that I've been serving for 20 years. So that's before yoga. That was my way of like reset my energy, myself from the craziness around me. So I do serve. I do yoga. I do gardening. And for inspiration, I love to travel. It's like I go and travel, and my eyes are like this, and I need to take pictures of everything, to remember everything. So yeah.
What are some places that you've traveled that really inspired you, or you took lessons away from, or even just like saw something that really sparked your imagination?
I think the most like inspiring travels I've done was Cambodia, and also India. It was, India is India. So India was very, very fulfilling in many ways. And yeah, I I cannot even have words to explain it because it was like time travel.
Really?
Yeah.
In what sense?
Everything, the culture, like the place where you were at, like it was going back in time. And I love that because I love simplicity and like to live a simple life. The less you have, the less worries, the less problems you have. So seeing how in those two places, like seeing how people with barely anything that we do have and being so happy and so kind, that was one thing that really shocked me and that really like always pulled me back to like having this grounded, simple life to just be able to enjoy more the present and the things that really matter.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people say, oh, travel is such a luxury. And in a sense it is, you know, it costs money.
Yeah, we're lucky.
Yeah.
If we are able to do it, definitely.
But it also is something that's so necessary for your soul.
For your growth.
And yeah, growth as a person, to experience humanity in through another lens.
Yeah, and value what you have, because we're here and we don't see other things and we're like, oh, always complaining, I don't have this, or look at that. But when we go out and see like that people really in other countries, they don't have half of what we do, and that makes us value more what we do have.
Yeah.
And come back with another mentality as really more grateful again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even like living in California, I think, is probably the most comfortable you could ever be in life, honestly.
I know, I've been.
It's like everything. So even like, you know, moving down to a place that doesn't have a hot shower, I'm like, wow, now I like really appreciate that, because
Definitely.
even when it's warm, it's like shocking a bit to be like, well, I'm taking another cold, ice cold shower. And yeah, or you know, like the roads, I'll have a pothole, or you know, whatever it may be, and then
You have a ceiling in your head, you know, like there's people that doesn't have that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Yeah, it really does help give you perspective and appreciate the tiny things, you know, like having a chair.
Definitely.
Just like one chair, like
Everything.
it's amazing.
A bed to sleep in,
Yeah.
water, power. There's so many things, yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you have coming up that you're working on or that you're really excited about that you want people to know about?
There's gonna be an Airbnb soon, yeah. Yeah, I've been working in that project for a couple years now. It has been delayed, but I'm going with the flow, being patient, practicing my relaxation and my patience a lot. But it's gonna be very nice, very beautiful. I think it's very unique and different from what we have around as places to stay. So, and that's my baby right now. I am like trying to push it.
Yeah, to bird.
But it doesn't want to yet, but it's gonna come. I'm hoping in the next couple of months. So,
Okay.
yeah, I'm very excited about it, and it's gonna be, you know, with the same line of like eco-friendly, simple. So that's one of the things, and also, yeah, once I have that, a lot of things are coming up for Kula too, so I'm
Okay.
excited for that today.
Yeah. Are you continuing with the same direction that you've been going in, or are you like taking a new path?
Maybe I want to introduce more colors.
Okay.
Yeah. And new fabrics.
Okay.
I love the ones I have and people love them, but I feel like it's time to like have something different as well. Like not, you know, stop with them, but like just have something different so I can make more designs that I have already designed and in mind too.
Okay. If you could give advice to someone who wants to start doing a personal brand, start a business, start teaching yoga, get into fashion, make an Airbnb, go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of advice would you give to someone? Yes.
You know, I think like the most important thing is like that you trust yourself that you can do it, and not like listen to. There's a lot of people that are gonna say like, oh, you're crazy, oh, you're gonna fail. That's not the work, but like how. And if you get it, is based on what you have in your mind, like what mindset are you on and how you allow this other outside things to affect you. Because, I mean, it's hard to not have it there, you know? But if you trust in yourself, you trust in your intuition, work hard for it, because, like, obviously it's not gonna come from the sky.
Dang it.
I mean, if it does,
Woo.
lucky you.
Yeah.
But like, you know, work hard for whatever you love and whatever your goals, dreams are, and trust, be positive, and prepare for it. Like plan, not do not do things like randomly. Oh, I'm gonna do my job tomorrow. And no, I planned what I did. Like I planned in advance for a couple of years. I saved a lot of money to be able to like not be crazy later. It doesn't mean I'm not now, but
Slightly less.
but exactly, slightly less. So plan, be positive, and just trust in yourself. I mean,
Yeah.
if you think it, you can do it. If you believe it, you definitely can do it.
Yeah. What would be the advice that you would have wanted to receive when you were at your most challenging time, or like, you know, the time where you were like questioning if it was worth it? What would be the advice that you would want to receive?
It doesn't matter when you want it, like we were talking before.
Mm-hmm.
It's just when the universe have it for you. Like if something doesn't happen like right away, go with the flow. You know, like trust that it's gonna happen at the perfect time when it is supposed to happen, and just be patient. And because that's been one of the other challenges, like, oh, but I wanted to have it for this month and it didn't happen, and then you get all frustrated.
Yeah.
Oh no. But don't let that, you know, like put you down. Just if it didn't happen in that moment, it was for a reason. Just keep working and it will come
Yeah.
when it's time.
Well, yeah. I think so. So, my last question for you
All right.
is, when you go on a trip and you're going to the airport, who's your ride to the airport?
What's what?
Your ride to the airport. Who's going to take you to the airport?
I guess my boyfriend. Yeah. Why?
This is a nice question that I like to throw in at the end.
Okay.
Because everyone has such a different response.
Really?
But it's always like kind of like nice to just shout out at someone who does those things for you.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, it's behind the scenes, not so glamorous. Nobody really wants to go to the airport, but everybody needs picked up from the airport.
Definitely. If not, you'll be spending a lot more money.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it was definitely him.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure
Yeah.
sharing all this with you.
Cool.